Hujambo, brothers and sisters. Good morning. I want to speak briefly, momentarily here about. I want to call this video the HNIC syndrome. The HNIC syndrome. And if you don't know what HNIC stands for, it stands for Head Nigga in Charge Syndrome. Well, Brother Rice, what is that exactly? Well, I'll tell you what it is. And some of you brothers and sisters can attest to this. Have you ever had a black supervisor that's worse to you than the white supervisors? I have. You got your own brothers and sisters that are in a supervisory position that will do you in before a white person will. You got some of them that will treat you any kind of way or do you worse than a white supervisor would. Now, you expect that from a white supervisor, but you wouldn't expect it from your own kind, from your own brothers and sisters. Well, over the years, I've come to know better than that. See, it's called the HNIC syndrome because you got a lot of brothers and sisters who've never had any power before, not used to any power. And when they get power, they abuse it. You got some brothers who are in a supervisory position. They don't have any power at home. They women wear the pants. And so when they come to work, they feel the need to exude their authority over you. Say, look, I'm this and I'm that. And I just be shaking my head sometimes. I'm like, you know what? We know who you are. You don't have to show out like that. We know you're the man. We're going to give you your respect. Okay? But you need to give us our respect at the same time. Same thing for some sister supervisors. Come in a grouchy, bitchy mood. Maybe she got some man issues. Maybe she has some issues with her kids. Who knows what type of issues she had before she came to work. But all of a sudden, whatever she was experiencing, she wants to take the shit out on you. And everybody that look like you. Everybody that's black that's watching this video has been in a situation or is currently in a situation where you've had a black supervisor that will do you before a white supervisor or treat you worse than a white supervisor. The HNIC syndrome is real. Like I say, it's unnecessary. We know who you are. You don't have to come here and show out and do this and that, the third, because you can. We know who you are. We know what you can do. We know what you're capable of doing. So it's unnecessary. See, here's the problem, brothers and sisters. Excuse me. The problem is this right here. The problem is we have been amongst our enemy for so long. For 500 years, we have been around the presence of wickedness. For 500 years, we have been in the presence of evil. And for 500 years, we have been under the presence of people who have animalistic mentalities. And somehow or another, that type of mentality has rubbed off on us subconsciously. We have become the white man personified. During slavery times, the white man would pick one token to help oversee the slaves. He would pick one. And that nigga thought he was somebody. He thought he was somebody. He sat back and he watched his master treat his own kind, his own people like shit. Sat back and watched and observed them. Basically, master was teaching him. He was grooming him, since he wanted him to be, help him watch over the slaves. He had to groom him and show him exactly what to do, what not to do, how to treat the slaves. First of all, what kind of brother would take a position like that anyway? You know, I mean, I couldn't have been no damn slave. No, because I'm not gonna do my kind like that. I'm not, you know. That's one thing I never understood. You had a plantation. You met one white family that consisted of what, maybe 4 or 5 people at best, and you had about 20 or 30 slaves. You mean to tell me that y'all could not overtake a family of 4 or 5? Are we that fearful of our enemies? I think that fear has trickled down in our DNA, and it has reached down from generation to generation to generation down to this present generation, because we definitely act like we are afraid of our oppressor. We are afraid to stand up for ourselves. We are afraid to be men and be women and fight for our rights. We are afraid to make people accountable for their actions towards us and against us. I really do believe that the things that took place during slavery with our ancestors has trickled down to our DNA, because we act very fearful of white people, very fearful of them. But anyway, I digress. That token nigga that the master chose, handpicked, to be his right-hand man to keep the slaves check. He now feels that he's like master. And I'm going to tell y'all something. When you get niggas like that in certain positions, they act worse than white people. They act worse. You know, you call yourself being happy for the individual for getting their promotion to be a supervisor. And then once they get the promotion, they change. They change. And you you was rooting for your brother or sister to get the promotion. And that's another thing. We got that crab in the bucket syndrome so bad, brothers and sisters. We got that bad in our community. We see a brother and sister come up, we're supposed to be happy for them, not tear them down. That's what we do. I mean, in their face, we appear to be happy for them, smiling in their face and say, hey, congratulations, this, that, and the third. But the minute they turn their back or we turn our back, we talk about them like a dog. That's just our mentality. And that's another thing that has to change within the black community. We have to be happy for one another when somebody succeeds. When one of us gets a promotion, be happy for your brother or sister. When one of us gets a brand new car, a brand new home, or in a new relationship, you're supposed to be happy for your brothers and sisters. Don't hate on them on the low. Don't talk about them like dogs on the street. That's that slave mentality that's still within our DNA to this day. That has to change, brothers and sisters. That has to change. It has to change quickly. It has to change quickly. But like I said, we all have known or been in a situation where we've dealt with HNICs. And it's a bad thing. But like I said, they've gotten up to a certain position where they think they Mr. Hot Shit now. Or she thinks she's Mrs. It now. Because they have progressed and going on to a position that the powers that be gave you anyway. That's one thing HNIC should think about before you get on your high horse and look down on the ones that you was down and with from Jump Street. You need to think about that. The same ones that promoted you, they are the same ones that can bring you down. The same ones that put you up there, the same ones that can bring you down. They can, because that's what? It's not your job. It's their place of employment. It's their job. And they are the ones that decide to promote you. You didn't promote yourself. Oh yeah, you might have went through the necessary paperwork and all other mannerisms of what you had to do to get your position. But at the end of the day, the powers that be gave you your position. And if they didn't want you to have it, you wouldn't have it. And once you get it, if they don't want you to have it, guess what? You won't have it. So, you HNICs out there, you know who you are. I don't have to point you out. Just think about this here. The same ones that you piss on your way up the ladder, when you come tumbling down the ladder, and you will be coming down the ladder, you're going to be tumbling down the ladder. Because guess what? The good God Almighty, who goes by many names, don't like his people to be treated any kind of way. Karma's a bitch. And if you don't know, you will know sooner or later. Same ones that you piss on the way up are going to be the same ones that you're going to need once you hit rock bottom. Once the house nigga gets kicked out the house for pissing massa off, or once he becomes useless to massa, your black ass could be right back out in the field with my black ass. And guess what? You're going to get shunned. We don't want you back. And you can't go back in the house. So I guess you just fuck. Because you get no love here, nigga. None. You should have thought about that before you pissed on your brother and sister. To impress massa. And then once you get your position, you act worse than a man. You act worse than the man. Like, comment, subscribe. Kwaheri. Peace.